World of Warcraft stability is under serious threat. Bellular's titles sometimes are clickbaity. I hope this one is. I don't want WoW's future to be under threat. Yeah. So let's see what this is all about, and then we'll post up videos. But let's see what is the threat here.
This one is pretty damn serious. I think it's something that is rather existential to the long-term health of World of Warcraft, because Blizzard's management is currently sabotaging the World of Warcraft team and Blizzard at large.
What?
Right? I therefore think it's important.
Are we getting debated right now? I feel like Bellular is about to debate us. Let's see.
The players know what's going on, while we've been having the devs doing a far better job with way more content. Of course, there's patch 10.1 on the way. 10.07 is probably not that far away as well, right? We're actually getting a higher patch cadence. The team's getting bigger.
The pacing has been great.
But Blizzard are going to lose out to the other companies in terms of getting staff in. And we all know that a game is only as good as the team who makes it.
Blizzard not paying.
So if you gouge your team for short-term profit, you're going to damage your long-term. And for us players, it's the long-term health that matters. Because we need to feel.
I feel the seriousness of this video.
Invest time in an MMO. Because why would you spend a long time in an
MMO
it's
coming up their asses.
That ultimately is being made by a team that feels a bit doomed?
Tundra, I will say, I have never been tempted to play any other MMO but World of Warcraft, but I will say one thing about Riot. The League of Legends MMO, to me, is the biggest threat to the history of World of Warcraft. It is the biggest threat to the game ever, and I will say that because it is Riot, because they have a great lore background. If you ever watched Ant Grove's videos before, the lore is amazing. They're going to have to keep an eye out on that one.
So with that said, I definitely am going to get a bit animated in this.
Let's do it, Bellular. Come on. Don't hold back.
So the ultimate TLDR here is that Blizzard hosted an internal pre-screened Q&A to address employee concerns over being basically a change in the work-from-home policy that was on decently short notice, right? And it was pre-screened so the management could basically have an easy time and avoid curveballs. But the problem is that Mike Ibarra managed to throw a bunch of curveballs so curved that they actually came back and hit him in the face. He made some moves that, from a basic leadership perspective, and it's kind of funny, you know, with the Pale Beyond, our game is basically about leadership.
Look, I'll be honest, the whole return to office thing, I have not seen a single company handle this correctly yet. And by correctly, I mean where people aren't up in arms with pitchforks and coming for the leadership. It's happening everywhere. I work in corporate America. You know, I'd love to, do this all the time, but I can't. I work in corporate America. It's happened everywhere. Everywhere. All my buddies who work in corporate America, same thing. It's been bad. And I don't think anyone has handled the announcement correctly yet, and they're all doing it. So this isn't special for Blizzard, this whole anger about return to office shit.
The audiobook about the Shackleton expedition that I listened to as a
Creeper,
kid
you got the Raskin? Holy
with
shit,
a book
amazing.
About the leadership lessons
Sam
from
is a C-suite.
Shackleton. And it's just like, holy shit, Mike, how are you so incompetent at your job? Because the thing is, Mike could have actually
people got used to working from home.
all
It's
the
true.
points that he wanted to, even though they're unpopular, in so much better of a way by employing like the basics of communicating.
Man, Creeper, that's amazing.
I do not understand how.
Wait, Creeper, you got AOTC too? Wow, and the Raskin.
He gets to ascend to the point of being leader of Blizzard Entertainment when they're not even able to give a decent performance in a situation like this. And now this has got to the stage where, number one, loads of people from Blizzard have just landed in my email wanting, and honestly not really like leaking anything because they don't want to hurt their projects, but they're landing in my email saying, my whole department is, furious and disheartened, and some of my colleagues are looking for other places to work now.
Wow.
Right? I've had people say.
I will say another thing. It's bonus season. It's bonus season. And you know when people leave? Right after they get their bonus. If people are going to leave, I love my job. I'm not doing it. But if people are going to leave, they are going to leave as soon as they get the bonus, which is right now. Like, people are getting paid bonuses this month and last month. So this is the time where people say, yep, looking for a job. I'm going to collect my bonus, and I'm out of here.
It sucks. Our managers.
So if there's going to be a
are
mass
just being
exodus at
forced to
Blizzard, it's
cringe
about to
through
happen
it.
like
We
within the
know
next
they
2 weeks.
disagree with their leaders. Congratulations, Mike. Just as you're about to ship Diablo 4, just as WoW is getting back up on its feet, what do? You torpedo the morale of your own team. You absolute goddamn dolt. I don't understand. Is there something in the water? What is it? Yes, people are just threatening to leave. Many other companies like Bungie are just saying on Twitter, hey, come over here. We're better. Now, first off, right, employees, it was announced that employees were only going to get 58% of their usual bonuses, despite a, quote, especially strong quarter because of Dragonflight and Overwatch 2's launch. So doesn't it feel great when, you have to remember, right, Blizzard bonuses have been low because, I mean, their MAUs, they went down to like 22 million. Blizz have been in the shitter, everybody. And the way that internally this was like positioned to staff was, don't worry,
never
team,
actually played
good
Destiny.
times are just around the corner. And as soon as they get around the corner, what is it?
They get a face full of shit.
What is it all about taking a piss in your face? Because your bonus is now 58% of what it was going to be. What? Again, when this has been treated like a part of your compensation.
These insults from Bellular today, jeez.
Quote, good times are just around the corner.
I don't know what this man put in his coffee before this video, but he is fired up.
Now, the rationale here was just
I did
no
play
money
Halo
for you.
a ton, of course. Yeah, I know Bungie made
Rivera
Halo.
was apparently pushed in this. He managed to say something to the effect of, if you think we executives are making a lot of money and you aren't, you're living in a myth. Now, Mike, or should I call you Michael? You know, we'll give this one Michael to Michael.
Come on, Michael.
You should be fucking ashamed of yourself, you goddamn ignoramus. I mean, you're in the position that you're in. Do you understand how math works? Do you understand how, like, percentages of...
I'm sure their bonuses weren't big, and that's probably what he's referring to. Like, they weren't... He's talking in relativity terms. He's saying, like, Michael's probably trying to say that, like, hey, man, last year, us executives made way more money than we're making this year. We all took pay cuts. But there's a bit of a difference when somebody's, you know, made $180,000 last year, and this year they're making $120,000. Rather than they made $4.5 million last year, and this year they're only making $4 million. There's a bit of a difference in terms of the amount of pay that's they're feeling cut.
A principal will
seems a bit out of touch with that comment he made.
If the principal is different, because everyone in the industry knows that Blizzard employees have been horribly underpaid over the last few years when compared to competitors like Riot. Actually, just recently, I saw, it was like a YouTube short of a guy who worked at Blizzard for like 7 years, right? His dad was the cinematics director at Blizzard for 20 years. And he basically said, yeah, I was being paid 38% of what my role should be in this location. Working at Blizzard was a really terrible mistake, but it was fine. I moved like a block down the road, or maybe 2 blocks down the road, to Amazon Game Studios, where one assumes he was paid a lot more than 38%.
Yeah.
This is the perception that Blizzard has. And why this is stupid for Mike. Look, Mike, you're probably earning more than 200 grand a year.
Yeah.
Now, the people whose bonuses you're talking about, maybe they're an artist who's earning 60, 70, 85 grand a year. Now, 85 grand a year USD in my hometown would have you absolutely lap of luxury. But from what I understand, in California, especially in Irvine...
85 grand a year in California? Shit, you're making like 20. You're living the life of the quality of life of someone making 20 grand anywhere else in America.
Humongo, especially.
Except maybe New York.
If you want to not have a hellscape commute to work, it is so expensive, the cost of living. I think to the point where the MIT calculator says that the regional living wage is
cost
like
of living
$23 an hour, 23 something an hour, and QA staff are actually being paid more of a base of like $22 an hour. So to somebody who's being paid $22 an hour, maybe $30 an hour, so you know they're above the living wage. That's totally good, but they still have stresses. They're still not able to maybe support a child if that's what they want to do, which is important, by the way, because as time goes on, you want to retain your employees. Now, what if your employees have things such as a goddamn life, I say into the microphone.
Whoa.
Right? Where maybe they want to
have
a
that.
kid, do a marriage, go on a holiday.
Do a wife, have a kid.
Limited quantity of, spins around the sun.
Don't be fucking on the job if you're working at Blizzard. You be having kids, your salary ain't going to keep up with that shit. That's the message, okay? If you're working at Blizzard, your pullout game better be a grade A.
This is no way to run a company. This is so stupid. And Mike basically was like, well, look, us executives have also had our bonuses cut to 58%. Yes, Mike, but you're almost certain earning more than 200 grand a year or 300 grand a year as the leader of Blizzard Entertainment. What a callous, crass, offensive, tone-deaf, inhumane, bullshit thing to say, Ybarra.
We are slaves to capitalism.
Your position is untenable. I hope you do not stay in your current role for long. Just because you...
Cali has the highest cost of living in the country. That's a fact, Cressley. That's a fact. Yep. Look, I could go to California right now in my profession and make probably double what I'm making here in Michigan. But the cost of living is like 4x times what it is here in Michigan. So my quality of life would dip if I moved to California. I ain't willing to do that shit.
Play World of Warcraft, enjoy selling some Mythic Plus boosts in your guild.
I'm good here in Michigan.
Time of 24
I'll vacation in California.
That doesn't mean you're a good leader of a company. And from just the cliff notes of this Q&A, which have been extensively leaked to the press and extensively leaked from multiple independent sources to us, you're fucking incompetent and you should not hold your job.
Damn, man.
It's as simple as that.
Bellular is just so angry
Mike,
today.
Obviously, Preach, he flew over to the States.
Oh, God.
Ybarra claimed he didn't know who Preach was. Now, I think that's pretty fucking unlikely considering.
Yeah, but no cold and beaches and bitches.
One of the most notable names in Warcraft, and Ybarra is a long-time WoW player. Seems a bit odd. But Preach's take then is basically, wow, I mean, I believe what John and Holly and Ian were saying to me. Oh, this is what they're working under? So yeah, Ybarra and co are sitting there on high six-figure salaries, probably.
Oh yeah,
even if it's like 200 grand or something. Just the amount of disrespect there, right? He also defended the stack.
I bet you they're making 7-figure salary. What do you mean, Mike Ybarra? He's got a 7-figure salary for sure. What's he talking about? 6? What is he talking about? If I wanted to move to a warm state, with beaches and sunshine, I'd move to Florida. I would have moved to California. All right, cost of living in Florida is exponentially less. And they don't have a state income tax. Double win.
Ranking system.
California's state income tax can take like 50% of your income after federal and state. Oh my, it's ridiculous.
Which is
highest cost of living and highest taxation. What a combo.
Something that basically means the team leads are literally forced
Disney World's
to
better than
throw
Disneyland.
Their employees under the bus because it mandates that a certain, basically, it takes the bell curve and it's like, past here, they all
California's beautiful. I'm not saying it's
not. And that
not.
punishment is literally, you won't get promoted,
it ain't for me to live there, no way.
Smaller. Just got smaller anyway, right? Even if the lowest performing employee is actually doing fine.
True, in Texas
and
too. Yeah.
This is why the very notable WoW Classic engineer, one of the faces of WoW Classic, left Blizzard because of this moronic system.
Yeah, I did grow up in Florida. That's true.
Do you want a situation where, let's say one of your employees maybe is worried about their health, maybe has a family tragedy or something like that, and maybe they go from being above average to average, but they happen to be in a good, well-performing team. Does that person, should you really slash their bonus? Is this all just to put more gold plates on Bobby's goddamn?
Bellular is thinking about it like a human. Corporations don't act as a human; they act as a money machine. Money machines don't have feelings.
So anyway, this is strike 2 out of 3. Mike's third strike was actually even worse. Again, this is the ignoramus in chief of Blizzard Entertainment. When asked about the return to office policy, he said, at the end of the day, we want people to be happy.
Good morning,
and if decisions about being happy don't align with where we're going and you won't be happy, then you'll have to do what will make you happy. So he basically just said, if you don't like it, leave.
Yeah. Mike, he's telling people, if you don't like it here, get the fuck out.
That's not how you run a company. And actually, the point is, 3 strikes isn't enough. There's also a 4th strike. He called out that the 2 most needed, and I think the 2 departments of Blizzard that are frustrated, that players are angry about the most, are QA and customer service. He said they're not considered long-term disciplines. In other words, you do CS or QA for a low wage, and then you get a real job.
Wow.
Nice one, Ybarra.
Wow, he's making it seem like doing that shit's like frying fries at a McDonald's. What the hell? Man, you know what? This is why I say it. I'm like, the Microsoft merger will be the best thing that ever happened to these employees. They'll probably have better benefits. They'll have probably higher wages, and they'll have larger staffs. Microsoft just needs to get this shit done. The SEC needs to back the fuck off and just let it happen.
That any wonder why I have customer service and QA people also in my email inbox, as I'm sure every WoW creator does, and just about all of the press. Would you even like to think about the amount of privileged information that people now hold about your future projects?
SEC.
I will not say their code names here. Like, Mike,
Different
do you
SEC,
actually understand how to run a large company and how to make sure that the ship is not mega goddamn leaky? Jason Schreier is now tap dancing his way to 500,000 Bloomberg articles. All because you managed to torpedo your team's morale. Again, you fucking ignoramus. And of course, have you ever been a little bit pissed off at why a customer service ticket either gets an automated response or just takes ages, or why the game ships with bugs?
100%, Deidre,
maybe
that's
ones
true.
like, say, the Hunter Bow and Razageth being that imbalanced to the point where the LFR version of the weapon is in fact superior than the mythic raid version of any other ranged weapon in the game, something that impacted the balance of World of Warcraft for months.
Yeah, that's why they nerfed the bow.
The expansion that is absolutely the expansion.
Ignoramus, yeah, I don't even know what he's saying half the time.
Unfortunately, did have quite a few bugs.
Bellular reach.
I remember all those times I tried to do rock climbing quests, couldn't click in the first rock, didn't work, feature gone. Yeah. I don't know, Mike.
Don't fuck with Bellular and his quest, his rock climbing quest. This man is
like
angry.
Those are kind of relevant. So anyway, to say I'm disappointed is putting it lightly. I think whenever leadership is anti-human in the way that Mike Ibarra has been, I don't know.
The Edric speaking facts in the chat.
Fucking bloated Madame Tussauds walking corpse creature.
Basically means idiot.
You do not deserve the salary that you've had. You do not deserve even 58% of your bonus, because what you're actually doing is actively harming the company.
Shots fired,
and now I really do have serious questions as to why, say, Jen O'Neill was only your co-leader for 2 months. What made her leave? You know, what made her leave? Why is it the case that staff morale is actually pretty damn bad at Vicarious Visions, now renamed Blizzard Albany? Why is it that morale is actually pretty bad at Proletariat, the studio you acquired to ensure that World of Warcraft can have a reasonable content cadence? So here's the thing. As WoW players, you got to understand, big daddy capitalism.
Yeah.
And this is not a, I don't know, Bell's a commie. It's definitely not that, right?
Bell's a communist, yeah.
We run a business here. We literally do. What we can talk about, though, is how about we frame the conversation as like this. If the time horizon of your sort of big system is very long, then you're working towards the long-term good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be the nice virtuous cycle. However, if you are doing a very short-term, one may even say quarterly, squeeze to get as much profits as you can, evidently, even if it's at the expense of people, do you think that's going to be good for World of Warcraft?
Probably not.
I mean, you, like the other end of this camera, I suppose, watching this video right now, do you think that World of Warcraft is going to be a better game in a world where Mike Ibarra, number one, in a world where, let's see, their bonuses get cut after they ship their best received expansion in years, and Blizzard Entertainment as a whole sees its MAUs go from, a low of like 22 million to 45 million. Do you think it's good for World of Warcraft as a game that, developers will be hyped to work on with their friends?
Right.
If that happens, do you think that
not.
World of Warcraft will be a game that has fewer bugs if the QA department are thrown under the bus? Do you think that World of Warcraft will be a game with better customer service?
Probably not.
Customer service also is thrown under the bus?
No, probably not.
No, absolutely not. So this is Mike Ibarra, the leader of Blizzard Entertainment and big gamer bro Warcraft man himself, who loves a little mythic dungeon on the side. He's just like you and me, boys. Do you think he's going to make World of Warcraft better or worse with this style of leadership?
Probably worse.
Ultimately, what's going to happen is it's going to be a revolving door of staff. They will lose knowledge to companies that are willing to treat their staff.
Revolving doors of staff is horrible, man. You got to it costs you more in the end. Rather than paying a little bit more for your current employees to keep them, they leave. Then new guys come in. You got to train those new guys, right? When you're training new employees, that's a loss. You're paying them at a loss at that point because they're not producing anything that's valuable. They're being trained, right? You train up these new employees. Then the older guys leave again. Now you got somewhat trained employees now training the new employees. So now you have semi-trained employees training the new guys. You're still dealing with a loss on their end. Now you got the new guys who are also a loss, and you're just dealing with a fucking funnel that keeps getting worse and worse. The people who are being trained, the people who are doing the training are worse than the people who came before them. And the people who are getting trained are now getting trained in a worse environment than the people who came before them. It just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm telling you guys, Blizzard has like 4 years to get their shit together because Riot is coming to take their lunch. And it's pretty scary because I like this game. But they got about 4 years. They got like 1 or 2 more expansions left in them before that League of Legends MMO comes out. Yeah, I don't know, man. Microsoft maybe going to come to the rescue. I don't know.
Basically, for the games industry in Cali right now, it is goddamn open season. Blizzard Entertainment are fish in the barrel. Let's go get some fish. Let's get developers. And guess what, everybody? I think these pesky Blizzard developers may even accept a lower offer because their current working conditions suck balls.
Oh, yeah, companies think that way for sure.
Nice one, Mike. Have you been promoted out of competence? Have you been promoted out of competence, Mike? I think you have.
Microsoft wants their IP. I mean, they don't give a shit about how they run things.
Like, I don't know, 50.
They'll just change it when they get them if they don't like it.
Because actually, at this stage, I think that pretty much everybody watching this goddamn video could do a better job than the current moron-in-chief, Mike Ybarra, who, of course, is probably the successor of, the previous moron-in-chief, Jay Allen Brack, who also managed to put his foot in his goddamn mouth every friggin' second. It is a wonder that WoW actually exists as a good game, and that the people who work on this game have to put up with so much goddamn bullshit. While the corporation has not earned our $15 a month, I absolutely think that the developers have. Not that they get it, because their bonuses have been cut. So, that's it for this week.
It all comes full circle.
I've just kicked my microphone. That's it for this week.
That's an angry
Sorry
man.
to end it on a little bit of a bummer like that, but at the end of the day, I think it is important that as customers, we know how our products are being made. It's good for our own personal, worldview or understanding of what's going on, but it's also really important because Mike Ybarra is going to make World of Warcraft worse, and that's probably not good for us as people who like World of Warcraft.
Probably not.
So that's not ideal. And with that said, obviously, the Pale Beyonds came out. We still do have a few pesky things to fix.
That's an angry Bellular, man.
Which is happening like over the next few days.
That is an angry Bellular.
So trust me, value.
Holy shit, that's loud. Yeah. So all in all, not good. Not good. Yeah, RKO, you said League of Legends is not the same as World of Warcraft. League of Legends is making an MMO. Riot, the people who make League of Legends, they're making an MMORPG, a World of Warcraft style game, out of the League of Legends world. So they are making a direct competitor to World of Warcraft. That's the game I'm talking about. Soapbox ended. Yeah, that was bad.